So today we're going to solve compromised ICS device from the Lexicon platform. And this one deals with the PLC system. Now, I do not know, and I don't know fully what a PLC system is in general, as in the intricate details of how it works. So because of that, I just Googled it. What is a PLC? What does it do? How does it work? What is RS? Which I'm going to explain later. I found another one. What is a PLC? How does it work? Once I had a high level understanding of what is it that this is doing, then I went to solve the challenge. As usual, we're going to extract the files. We have a pickup file, immediately Wireshark, open in the back, and a logs text file. Now, I didn't open this text file until the end, and I really should have opened this at the beginning. It would have made my life a lot easier. So what did I do? So the first question is, while investigating the logs, we notice an initial access pattern. What is a table? And two ways of doing this. Either you can open the log text file and see it right at the top, which if you look at the logs, you'll understand why this looks a little weird. Or you can go to Wireshark, frame contains, rotation marks, table ID, just as it is, and look at those files. But for this case, and to make sure I keep the video short, we're going to use this response. I went the other way around. Now, we need to determine the entry point of the attack. What is the public IP address and the port number of the service running in the PLC? So I don't know what kind of service is running in the PLC. So for me, what I did was use a filter in Wireshark and say, okay, the frame contains PLC. That's all I know. I looked at the responses and I went with this one, with the get monitor update, MB port, Modbus port 502. So as soon as you open it, I'm gonna go straight to HTTP. This is the port number, and what we're looking for is this. We're looking for the URL. So here we get the entry point of the attack, we get the IP address and the port number to update the port. This. Okay, that's cool. Nice. This is gonna come in handy later on. What is the IP address of the attacker? Okay, so there's a person there. How did I figure out what was the attacker? So after that, I just keep reading the questions that suggest you do that. We have several login. Okay, great. So what I did is say, okay, so we have several login attempts. I'm just gonna go with login. Who's really trying to log in? I'm going to fix. There we go. So that's what I did. Somebody, this person, and uh, uh, that's what I did. I went to log in and just thinking could possibly be that thing static the address, the dashboard. That's cool. Okay, you could have also used request method post here and you could have gotten it that way as well. So moving on, several login attempts. So what is the username or the password that they finally use? They're able to use when they log in. So in the same response, and in the same packet, you will find the answer for that one, which they use OpenPLC on Breaking Bad. Okay, fine. I never watched that show, by the way. Apparently, it's good. Now, what was the user agent used by the attacker when they were attempting a brute force attack? So you have to think of what does a brute force attack look like in what's it called in Wireshark. That would be my first suggestion. You have to understand and think, okay, if I was trying to brute force something, how would I do it? What protocol am I going to use? What port am I going to use? Am I going to use 80? Am I going to use probably not 443, maybe 8080, 421, 422? There are different ways of doing so. lower side, on the Wireshark side, you're going to see a lot of requests, a lot of requests, a lot of requests from the same source to the station until, and I scroll quite a bit. I could have just used Frankenstein's login and HTTP request method equals post, and I could have gotten the same way. It probably would have saved me a lot of time, but I'm just telling you what I did. So you keep scrolling, you're going to find, I'm going to call it a hit. So we get a push request for a login and we're looking for the user agent. And right at the bottom, you will find the user agent. Remember, it's going to be a header in the request. Breaking that user agent. The attacker manipulated an industrial protocol to control the pumps and switches. What is the industrial protocol called? Now, I didn't know. So I did what a great researcher does and I Googled what are some protocols used. And at the beginning, we did find, believe it was in the logs for 502, but scrolling down just past it, you see here what was a couple of times. And when we first found one of the answers, it said MD underscore bots 502. So I went ahead and Googled that and say, okay, what is that? What does it do? And I learned that is one of the protocols used. So when you don't know, you Google. Always, 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 always here, MD board. And then you Google, what's this? And then you end up finding the answer. And it's kind of cool once you read it and get an idea of how it works. So what is the port number that the protocol uses? It's 502. After gaining access, the attacker targeted a specific URL to manipulate the program. What is the full URL that they use? Okay, that one. Okay, so for that one, right? So what I did is, when you start looking at the logs, and honestly, I really should have opened this text file at the beginning because I did not. You will see that we have a lot of requests going to get minor update. What I'm looking for is the full request. So we go into Wireshark, frame contains your update. You open one of its requests, or you scroll at the bottom, and it will give you the URL here to start with it a lot. So that will be your answer for that one. Okay, this one just gave me so much trouble. Now, the two last questions. So you can infer the answer of this one from this question. So this question says, yeah, the pump was turned on a couple of times before leaving it on. When did the first turn pump on? The last question is, what was the final state of the pump switch on water pump in the system after the attacker left? So from this question, I know that this is going to be a 1. So what I'm truly looking for is the state of the pump switch. And then this time frame. So if you open a text file, again, open text files. The bottom, at the bottom, yeah, okay. You're gonna have this. Modbus on port 502, the protocol and the port number. You're gonna have this pump switch and a Boolean type. So a Boolean is going to be either true or false, 1 or 0. When I was diving deep into this to try to understand when is it that it was turned on or off, did I have it on? I'm not that wrote it. I was really trying to figure out, when is this set to true or false, or when is this set to 1 or 0? I opened this up. I don't know where it went. It's somewhere in there. Oh, here. Somewhere in there. I don't know where it went. Okay. So knowing this, what we're looking for is as you go through the files, as you go through, oh, okay, stuff like that. Here it is. And so when I started going through all of these packets, I found this, a snippet of code. And now I'm not a developer, so this is not formatted correctly, just letting you guys know. But I found the Boolean value. I found what this was equivalent to, and then I found false. So I knew that what I'm looking for is something that says true. I need a Boolean value that says true. And that took me way too long to figure out. Way too long. Okay, so we're gonna close without saving. And we're gonna type in here. Because what I also want to do when I was solving this is understanding how is it in the box. Gigantic. So at the end, after looking at over it was 700 frames, and just I didn't look at all 700. I looked at least 50, 30. I don't remember. I was just trying to find how was this coded so that I can understand what I'm looking for. So at the end, we ended up with this. I ended up with this. So response code 200, and the frame contains this value, right? The opposite of false. Now, if you look at the hint, it will also tell you that you can filter by the attacker's IP address. So I did that first. I also filtered for water pump, but water pump, when you filter for it, it's not specifically like this. It has space in the middle, and that space made all the difference. But moving forward, you open this up, do the frame, and you'll find your time here. And this was the last answer that I found. Okay, so I'm feeling really proud of this one. In summary, to solve any of the challenges that you don't know, I'm going to do exactly what a great researcher does and just Google, 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 Google until you understand. You don't have to be a coder, you don't have to be a developer, but you want to understand how it works. And you want to be curious about it. I'm going to put some helpful links. These links that I found here at the bottom. And oh, RS, I wanted to explain this. When I was looking through the code, I found a lot of upload file.rs. I wanted to understand what the extension was, and apparently it is a coding language or a language used for PLC systems. Contains a lot of Boolean values. I did a lot of research on this, but I really hope this was helpful. Idea again is for you to challenge yourself and to feel comfortable thinking, like your brain really hurts, and that's how you know you're getting better and you're growing and you're aiming for expertise, which is what we all want at the end of the day. I hope this was helpful.